Before we dive into this video, guys, I want to say thank you so much for 300 subscribers on this channel. I just started this channel recently as a place to share videos on beat selling tips, tutorials, kind of behind the scenes content. And already I've been getting a lot of good feedback, a lot of great support from you guys. It's really exciting because it's like kind of a fresh start to what I usually do, and it's fun to build up a new community here, so I'm just really thankful. So thank you guys so much for subscribing. So for today's video, I want to talk about how I sold my first beat ever. I've had a lot of producers ask me this over the years, but especially recently, because the other day on my Instagram, I posted how I've now sold 500 beats so far this year. So I've got a lot of questions from producers asking, how do I even get started selling my beats online? I do know that like nowadays in 2020, things are a little bit differently. So I am going to be making a video and posting it soon about what I would do if I was selling beats today in 2020. But I wanted to make this video because, to share my personal experience with you guys. And I still think that there's some things that I did that hopefully might inspire some of you guys. So stick around, but there is going to be another video I'm posting soon where it's going to be a little bit more detailed. So be on the lookout for that one. Okay, so I sold my first beat and just about 10 years ago now, honestly, a whole decade ago, which is crazy. I first started my YouTube channel in May 2010, and I sold my first beat at the end of June 2010. So about just over a month, I think, from when I first started posting my beats online. It was a custom exclusive beat for $40. I don't know if $40 US or Canadian, but $40 for a custom exclusive beat. And this is so crazy because right now I have lease options that are over $40. It's like I wouldn't even do a custom beat for $40 because it's just not worth my time. Like these days I do them for hundreds if not thousands of dollars for a custom beat that when I started I sold for $40. But at the time that was like, groundbreaking me to even make $40 off of one beat. So that was back in May 2010, and I was doing two specific things. The first one was I was uploading a handful of beats to my new YouTube channel, and this was kind of important because I wanted a lot of stuff online. I thought it was kind of bad when I saw people with YouTube channels and they only had like 2 or 3 videos. So I wanted a lot of beats online that when I got to sending my beats and my YouTube channel out to people, they could see a lot of stuff to choose from, which I think is really important. And then second, I was actively looking for artists to work with. At the time, this was 10 years ago, I was in grade 9, first year of high school. I wasn't looking to get paid off my music. I didn't even know anything about beat selling or how the music industry or even the online game worked. I just wanted to make music, and I don't know, I knew how to make beats. I just knew that I needed somebody to rap or sing over them. So I was looking for people to do that. I actually remember that there was a few times where artists actually asked me, to buy beats. And just because I was so new to it, I was 13 years old. I didn't have a PayPal account. I was just like, no worries, let's just make music. Don't even worry about the money. So I was like 13 or something. I only had my YouTube account and an email account and a couple of beats on my YouTube account. But I remember in grade 9 spending a lot of time on my lunch breaks in high school. I used to spend a lot of time on my iPod Touch going on DatPiff, which if there are some, younger producers watching this video, DatPiff was basically this huge hip-hop website where people would post their mixtapes online. This was before streaming services were even a thing. This is kind of how independently you would post your music. And, huge artists like Drake, The Weeknd, J. Cole, I know Kendrick Lamar, they all in their early days would post their mixtapes on this website. But what was also cool was that anyone could post, their mixtapes or their songs on DatPiff. And it was also easy to listen to the most recently added mixtapes. So that's what I was doing. I would go on DatPiff, and I don't think that this is actually, any useful tip right now. It might be better for some other website, but at the time I was going on DatPiff and I was looking at like the recently added mixtapes or the new mixtapes or whatever they called it back then. And I was just listening to all these, mixtapes that were literally like uploaded, that specific day. And this was like blowing my mind because 13 years old, the new iPod Touch, this was like the first time that I was kind of actively discovering music on my own, and it was just like surreal to me. I don't know, it was so exciting listening to just brand new music for kind of the first time ever. A lot of these artists, when you posted your mixtape on DatPiff, you could add a little bio about like the artist. And I know that a lot of people, they would post like their email address for, business inquiries or whatever, some contact email address. So by, spending some time on my lunch breaks looking for new artists to work with, I eventually found a few that I was, a really big fan of. I really liked their mixtapes. I was listening to it all the time, and they had their email address in their description of that mixtape. So I would spend time and I would email them. And I would say like, hey, just found this mixtape that you posted on DatPiff. It's really sick. I'm a producer. Here's my YouTube channel. Let's work. I realized that in 2020 that almost sounds kind of scammy, but like I wasn't, trying to get them to buy anything. I didn't mention anything about like, hey, buy my beats, pay me money, anything. I was legit like, yo, I'm a fan of your mixtape. Like, genuinely, I like your stuff. I'm a producer. Like, I want to work with you. And that's something that really, really helped me not only make beat sales down the road, but got me my first beat sale. So through that, I had built up a few relationships, but I built up this one relationship with an artist who I kept sending him beats. He would ask for a beat like this. I would go home from school and I would make a beat and I would send it to him. I didn't care about any money. And I would do this, a couple times, send him a handful of beats, and eventually he emailed me one day and he said, hey, I'm working on this song with my friend or my cousin or something, just some guy who he was tight with. And he said that, me and my friend, we have this idea for a song and we want to pay you. And he said that he told his friend, my situation. I'm just a high school kid. I don't have a PayPal account. I'm just doing this for the love of music. And he said that his friend insisted that, they pay me for my music after all these songs that I did for them, and just genuinely being excited to work with them. They kind of wanted to help me and show me something in return. So they wanted to pay me for a beat. And I was still, at the time, I was like, no, don't worry about it. But they kept on insisting it. And they're just like, man, like, you've done so much for us. We want to pay you. So we eventually agreed on $40 for a custom beat. And like I said, I didn't have a PayPal account, so they sent the money to my dad's PayPal account, and I sent them the beat. And I'm actually not in touch with these artists anymore. We lost touch over the years, but by doing this for a while, I had that kind of same relationship built up with a couple of artists who, a few months later would kind of do the same thing. They, got a whole bunch of value from me. They loved working with me. I was doing so much for them, and they just kind of wanted to support me back. And the cycle just kept going and going. I was still posting beats on my YouTube channel all the time, so my YouTube channel was growing, and I was hitting up new rappers, telling them to check the beats on my YouTube channel, so I would send them stuff. And these two things just kind of worked hand in hand into growing this into an actual beat selling business. I think that by doing that, like not worrying about the money at first, just focusing on value and really just for the love of the music, it helped me a lot, definitely, to get my feet wet in, how this whole online game works. And just got me comfortable with, actually communicating with artists and working with them. And geez, that was like 10 years ago. I think in that first year, I had sold maybe 5 beats, maybe 5 or 6 beats around then. And I think I made like $200 in that first year, that first like 6 months. And flash forward a whole decade later, which sounds so long to say, but flash forward a few years later, I'm already on track to hit 6 figures off of beat sales this year, which I've done for the past couple years now. So it's just crazy how it started with these small communications and just, being really eager and passionate to work with artists. Eventually I was able to scale it up and get paid for working with people. So hopefully that helped inspire you guys a bit. Like I said, I just really wanted to share my personal story because it's something that I get asked for all the time, because some people don't even know where to start. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm working on a follow-up video to this one where I'm gonna talk about selling your first beat in 2020, because I know DatPiff isn't really a thing anymore. Some things have changed, but it's also kind of easier for you guys if you're just starting now. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. That video will be out soon. I'm excited to share it with you guys. Leave a like, leave a comment. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.